in trading, you want to learn how to what? Navigate the marketplace and engage without having loss. Do you think the surgeon's first procedure on a living person, do you think they're calm, cool, and collected? No. But they're going to lean on all the experience they gathered with cutting on those cadavers. When they were doing their case studies in the textbooks, writing out their ideas, that's not the same. That's just you writing out your model. But then when you go to that cadaver, which is a demo account or paper trading account, you're doing the theory in a setting that can't hurt you or anyone else. That's proper learning. You're doing it without any concern, psychologically or emotionally, about the outcome. You're focusing on doing what the theory suggests you're supposed to. What's the process? What's the protocol? You're following that. That's your model. Don't let anybody make fun of you and make you feel like, oh, I'm learning how to do this with a demo account. It doesn't matter. Your results are going to be yours. If your results are going to be unbelievably, successful, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say that it ain't real. And are you going to care? Are you going to care when you start making real money if people don't believe that how you learned was a good or bad way? You don't care. I have more students that aren't on social media because they're off doing their own thing now. Look at the young people that are making themselves available to you in these interviews. They don't have to do those interviews. They're interviewed by these companies. I don't own those companies. We don't have some kind of conspiracy together. I mean, you've heard me talk really in a very low-key anti-approach to funded accounts, if you heard what I was saying earlier. Like, I'm not a fan of them, even though I have profitable students that use them. I'm not a fan of them. That's why I will never do business with any of them. I will never have an affiliation with them. I will never say, go and join this funded account and blah, blah, blah. And here's a 20% off type thing. I don't want affiliations. And when I tell you something, it's my honest opinion. No one has influenced me. They're not paying for my opinion. I will never have my opinion paid for. And I never represent no broker whatsoever. Period. I'm not an introducing broker. Anything I tell you, it's my opinion. And I'm not monetized with that opinion. And that's why, unfortunately, my opinion isn't liked by a lot of other folks, because it infringes on the comfort they hold with their affiliations. And I don't have a problem with them having their affiliations. Listen, get your money, man. But don't hold me to that same level of, well, he must be in partnership with somebody else. I'm not. So I'm out here sharing my opinion, and it doesn't mean my opinion's right. It's just my opinion. You may take something I say and get a hair up your backside and say, well, I'm going to use this as a reason to prove ICT wrong. And then you create something entirely new. And that would be amazing. So it's not meant for me to be a reason for you not to do funded accounts. I'm just saying that everything that I felt most people would encounter, my son's experiencing that. So in many ways, I feel vindicated. And the only way I think he and anyone else will do well doing it is by never really over leveraging. Never really doing that. Trade with a very small number of contracts, even if they give you the freedom to do more. Because you're really not trading with $150,000. You're trading $3,000. And $3,000 is undercapitalized. Grossly undercapitalized. And anyone that says other than that is full of grade A cow patties. It's just the way it is, folks. Drawdown is a real part of trading. And And when you burn your funded account and you burn your funded accounts, you'll feel like, well, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to be a little bit more selective, but I'm not going to change anything I've done. If over leveraging is part of it, you're going to fail. Just give it enough time, you're going to fail. If you listen to my students and other people that do this, they build up these, well, they have like a deck of cards at their disposal. Multiple funded accounts, multiple ones, because it allows them to have a card to play when one's roasted. When it's burned, they can't use that one anymore. They have something else they can lean on. How about just have one account? Don't over leverage it. Don't demand more than it's going to pay out. Make enough money to go with a company like AMP, where it offers you real trading, very, very low margins. My son had experience with that company, and hey, it is what it is. No broker's perfect. No broker's going to be perfect. You're going to complain about all of them, but that's the world, man. Like, you're not going to have a silver lining that's seen by everyone in an agreement. You're going to have your favorite things about a broker, and you're going to have these pet peeves that you don't like about them. Everybody's going to have that because they're the middleman. But I don't think your best interest is suited for only viewing funded accounts. And I've said, I just don't believe that segment of our industry is going to be allowed to stay around in the capacity that we have it right now. And that's the reason why they're, doing what they can to get what they can from whoever's willing to give it to them. Because the time is probably limited for them to do what they're doing. So if you're going to do that, do it the right way. Don't over leverage it. Make what you need to cover the costs and build up enough money to go with a real broker that allows you to trade with real funds in a real account, that allows you to have more drawdown, like in the real world, greater than $3,000. Because $3,000 is nothing. Literally nothing. I spent $3,000 this morning just shopping for things that would never really cost that much 5 years ago. But if I want to stock up on stuff, that's what it costs now. But $3,000 in trading, you were really undercapitalized, and you're paying monthly dues to be undercapitalized, and you can't trade past 4 o'clock. When, hey, sometimes earnings season, you'll see moves that are after hours, right? You'll never be able to capture any of that. Now, is that a deciding factor that should keep you from doing funded accounts? Probably not. But it's something that a real brokerage account doesn't place a limit on. So, just food for thought. I could have him in a stage 2 funded account like that. No problem at all. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But he's going through something. And I have to let the natural order of things push him to a point where he has to identify what he's doing isn't going to work. And today I proved that what I teach and what I do does in fact work. Even in a condition where you think that what you're doing will eventually materialize in the outcome you want, you probably don't have the resources, the patience, or the money to keep resetting until that thing unfolds like you hope it will. And he won't ever run out of money. What he'll run out of is trust in what he's doing is going to lead to the result that he's looking for. And I'm trying to let the natural process that everybody goes through this. Some more than others, some much harder than others. Some are more stubborn. I was very stubborn. I wanted, and I've said many times, they name streets after me one way. And I wanted to have it my way. My way. And if I'm teaching, you can't come here and expect me to teach you a different way than I'm willing to teach. It isn't your way mentorship. It's my way. And if you don't like how I teach it, nothing's keeping you here. You can learn how to trade from somebody else. There's other stuff out there that works. Just have good money management. I promise you'll probably still make a little bit of money, but you're still going to lose. And whatever you use to find profits, whatever religious faith you want to place behind whatever it is you're doing, you're welcome to have at it. Be rich. Good luck with it. It isn't going to change what I view about the marketplace and my convictions about what should be done correctly and what things shouldn't be done incorrectly. All these things, I've developed this opinion over 3 decades, and I'm not going to listen to somebody that just started up and they somehow know more about how I should behave or view the marketplace in their infancy as a couple months in observing price action, or coming from another school of thought and having never really spent a full year in it. But they're not going to change or impact my opinion about what it is I hold about the markets. And it won't be like that for you either. It's going to be like, okay, your opinion, I understand it, I respect it, but I'm not going to do anything with it. So there it is. And I'm hoping that what I'm saying here tonight doesn't discourage, because like I said, I'm going to be talking to students that have done funded accounts next week. And you've already seen these individuals that I've already interviewed. And they're right from my private mentorship. Like, they paid me to learn what they do and have made money with it. I have more of them next week. If you have learned the 2022 model and you did not join my private mentorship, which no one can, it's not happening anymore. You should just relax. We're mentoring just like this now. If you made money and you've been profitable with your trading, whether it be with your own funds or through funded account companies, and you want to be interviewed, I'd love to sit down with you. But it just seems like that I'm only getting my private mentorship students, which unfortunately that gives the impression that nobody can be profitable like with the 2022 model, which that's not true. It's just that model really clicked for a lot of my students that were trying to find their own model. And mentorship, when they paid me, I was giving them everything that I was willing to share as components, but I also taught them how to take each component to build their own model. And for the students that were in that mentorship, I had a very loose overview discussed in a commentary about that very model. I was leading people to just do that very thing, like create that model. So I suggested the pieces, but I didn't put it out there in a step by step. And if anybody's out there telling you that they're going to sell you access to videos where I've done that, they're lying to you, because I didn't do that. And my mentorship students will tell you right now on Twitter that I did not do that. I called the market just like you see me do daily, every single day. I did live streams the first year, doing what you see me doing in these live streams, and the same type of attitude that I got from some students you still see in the community here. You didn't take any trades. You talked for 2 hours. You didn't take any trades. I called all the logic as to why the market should behave a certain way. That's important. You need to have all that. Otherwise, the entries won't make any sense. You won't know what to reach for. You won't know how to find your model. So opinions, they're always going to be held by other people. My opinion of funded accounts and those companies that offer them, I am personally not a fan of them. If my son turns it around and makes money, I'm still not a fan of it. I'm of the opinion that, yes, most of you that use them probably don't have the funds to go and do that. I understand that. But if you're going to do it the right way, so that way you can get something out of it. Build up enough scratch money, whatever, and go with a real brokerage firm. So that way you know it's your money. You have control. You're not limited to some unrealistic small little drawdown. Like, it always goes up the same amount. No matter how much you make, it's not increasing. It's always that small little, ultra small stop loss. That's how I look at it. I look at that as a very, very, very tight stop loss. And look at how I teach. I don't teach you to do that, do I? I don't teach you to hurry up and ram that stop loss underneath a profitable position, being fearful that it's going to stop you out, because it's probably going to stop you out. And you won't be able to see what? The appreciation and the equity going higher. It stops you out too quickly because you're strangling the trade. That's what these funded account companies do to you. And anybody that wants to say otherwise, you're welcome to your opinion, but you're never going to convince me that it's anything but that. They're placing so many odds in your favor of failing. But they market it like, this is the greatest advantage in the world. Look at this and look at that. Look what we do. We provide this. You don't have the money? Use our money. Really? That small, ultra small trailing stop loss, maximum trailing loss, or something. I don't know the term. It's something like that. That is equivalent to a jammed up, super tight stop loss in a trend that you're long in, and it's going right below the last couple ticks. That's what you're doing in these funded accounts. And when you add more contracts, you're all but guaranteeing you're getting stopped out. And you're going to break a rule and you got to pay a reset. It's like getting margin called and you're paying for it, but looking at it like it's a good thing. I'm sorry if that ruffles feathers. I'm not trying to do that. And I know some people are probably already preparing some kind of tweet response, this, that, and the other thing. It's my opinion. I've watched what's going on in my son's account. I've seen he's broken every rule. And 2 of those rules don't make any damn sense to me. You can't trade after 4 o'clock. Dude, what are you talking about? Like, if you have a runner and you leave a small portion on and it's an earnings season, sometimes you have these really sudden boom, like they just, it'll happen. But you'll never have that ever if they tell you got to close a trade at 4 o'clock or whatever it is. I don't know. It's like 4 o'clock. He said he did something past 4 o'clock and it was a rule that they said it was broken. And he made money, hypothetically, because it went to his target, but he failed. Now tell me in the real world how that makes any sense. That's like the same people out there that argue and say partial profits are stupid. Partial profits are 100% profitable. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Trading is hard enough already for new traders. It's already hard enough. Don't compound the difficulty by forcing your results to perform in a ultra trailed stop loss, which is what these companies are placing you underneath.